when you came to the show, your mom DM'd me, and it was like, thank you so much for letting Elijah come judge. Thank you so much. I knew what that DM meant. That DM meant, make sure my child is okay or we're coming for you. And I loved it.
Go ahead.
We're coming for blue! Ha!
Jamarian's here.
Yes, say it.
Everybody get with it and do the party hop. One time. All press and monster rules get locked. 2 times. Tell him bring it back, now bring it back 3 times. She can do it, he can do it. Hey, go hard or go home. It's no regular dance. No popping, locking and dance. This one is one for the books. Do it right where you stand. Hit to your left, to your right, grab whoever. We about to go wicked. I got this part in my hand, and I'm about to get jiggy 'cause the party.
All right, welcome to another edition of The Step Exchange. I am Coach B, coming to you loud, live, and will remain in color. As you can see by the jacket that he is wearing, you ain't got to even look to see what the letters are. You can just look at the jacket and already know that says DR and the B. We all know who they are. Them Raider boys out of Greenbelt, Maryland. And we have one of the captains of the team, one of my favorites, probably my favorite from the team. We have Mr. Elijah. Y'all know who Elijah is. Well, Elijah, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Pleasure
No problem.
to be talking with you.
I saw when I said look at the coat, you looked at the jacket like, what is he? We all know the jacket. You ain't got to got to even say, we ain't got to even see it. We know that jacket. All right. So it's good to have you on here, my brother. We got some things I want to talk about with you. But before we talk to Brother Elijah Hill, we're going to see a clip of them Raider boys. Take a look. And we are back. All right, Brother Elijah, here we go. First up, how did you start stepping on DRB? Of course, I know you probably had to go to tryouts, but how did all that come about?
Sure. Okay. So I was a sophomore in high school, and so I had seen DRB beforehand. I had seen them perform in like church, not church. I'm sorry, like they perform in like gyms, like different like in our auditorium and different things like that. And I seen them and always thought like, you know, this is so cool. I can never really do this. But so I had a couple of I had like 2 of my friends. My name was Daniel and Chris. One of them ended up being my captain, but they were in my Japanese class, one of my classes in high school, and they were both on the team, and their tryouts were coming, and they're like, you know, just pull up, bro, just try out, like you could do it. Like I'm like, oh no, I remember I asked my mom, like, you know, like should I do this? I don't know if I could really dance. And then she was like, yeah, try it. So I went out there, tried out. And it was like we had like tryouts were like for 3 days, so they would call you back. And I knew a couple of other people trying out too. And so the person who actually, funny story, the person who was supposed to call me back didn't call me back. Like so all my other friends and stuff were getting calls, and then like I wasn't getting calls. So I'm like, dang, like I didn't make it. I'm like, dang. And then I ended up getting a call. And then from there, like that's how kind of how I started. And then you know, I guess initially I just seen the skill and the passion that they had. That's what drew me to it. But then I really gained the love for stepping just from being in the environment, just seeing, you know, Coach Richard and everybody who was on the team at that time, the love that they had for that, you know, it just kind of became contagious. And then from there.
I like that, the little callback. So, I mean, so he was preparing y'all for Greek life already. The callbacks. Come on, get the callback. I love it. I'm not mad at it. All right. So being on DRB, and we just be honest, the #1 step team in this. I say the world, because everybody knows who you are. So being on the team, has there ever been any teams where y'all went to a show and were like, yo? And if there's not, you can say there's not. But if there,
I feel like with, you know, we came to every show. Okay, so Coach Richard used to say the biggest way to be prepared is to like, if you practice hard enough and you can beat yourself, like be better than you were before, then you don't have to worry about really, or like the other teams you should just be worried about yourself. So I guess the biggest thing about that too is, like, to say we performed a certain way. The biggest thing was just to constantly elevate that performance, right? Mm-hmm. So not to, if that performance won, okay, that performance won, but not to worry about like that, but to worry about the things that we messed up on in that performance, and then elevate that, and then that just let that speak for whatever team comes. And yeah, I guess that was kind of how the mentality of how we tried to do things. Okay, just respect every team, but know that we were working hard to try to get the job done.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're at a show, and I don't know if he's on a team there, but I know you could have either been not on the team or off the team. So you're at the show. Third place. Oh, we pumped up. We about to win this show. Third place. They call the team. Y'all know DRB go. Y'all know DRB gonna win. Y'all know DRB gonna win. Second place. Them Raider boys. What goes through your mind when y'all, because you're used to winning. We're used to seeing first. When they call second, what goes through your mind at that moment?
Right. So yeah, I wasn't on the team then, but I'll just speak as a representative. I mean, I think that the biggest thing was just that, I think even with just life, like, people kind of have like invincibility complex, right? So like, you don't really think something happens until it happens to you. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of along the same context of that, like, whatever led up to it, and what happened, during the reasoning, is besides the point. But I guess the result, to see that, second place when you feel like you deserve something else, or regardless, was just probably heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. So I think the biggest thing was, what I can tell you is that I joined the team right after that. Mm-hmm. So the mentality was it's grind time. And I remember my first year was literally we practiced the most that year. Like, we were so locked in. Probably, I don't know how much we practiced, but we were very focused on getting back to that point. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, we had a pretty good run. So
you did, and I ain't gonna lie to you. This is how long I've been following the team. Where y'all got second place with the blue vest on, and then your 1-1-1 vampires. So watch where I'm going with this. Vampires, blue vest, the slacks and shoes. Win. Got the Netflix. The jackets, the slacks, and the shoes. I said I need Richard to go back to doing Greek gods, because I'm not a superstitious, but I'm like, when you did Shakespeare and the Greek gods were good, don't go back to the regular stuff. So next season, go to something else. Go to something else. Go to whatever it is, Julius Caesar or somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, Okay, so being a part of DRB and knowing that you are on this team that everyone looks at. How do you guys continue to raise the bar? Because you raise the bar with everyone else. So how do you continue to raise the bar within yourself? How do you beat your own self from last time?
Sure. So I think the biggest thing, and I got to give all credit to Coach Richard. I think he really is a genius in his own right. Just in, I think it's important that, it was the step team, but it's a place for, a place away from home. But he could be, and what a good any coach, but be whatever you needed him to be, and that just means along the line of, for some people he might have had to been a brother, for some person he had to be a coach, for some person he had to be a teacher, for some people he had to act like a father, whatever the role is though, and anybody on the team can attest, like, just the importance. But the biggest thing that he would do is that the team was very structured. We would constantly compete within ourselves. Mm-hmm. So we would worry about, other teams and what other teams had to offer. But so if you have 20 guys or something and everybody wants to be number one, right? Just by that flame and that fire, everybody's just going to get better and elevate. And it was just a high standard that he had for us and that we had for ourselves. So just by constantly, reinforcing and practicing every day, and then looking at other people, people who were better than us, because there was always somebody better. It really seemed like we, like I remember there was Chris. His name was Chris. He was captain for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. Small Asian dude.
Whoa! So, who are we?
yes, I remember him. Yes, yeah,
absolutely. The way that he would snap, the way like, and we would be so in it, like always looking at him,
right.
and trying to, basically be better than him, like by just doing that. We were all just elevating ourselves.
All right, I have 3 letters for you. 3 letters: G to the O to the V.
So I mean, it was always, because I guess when the big GOV time was usually nationals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just GOV. Like I said, we didn't really try to look at any team per se, but we did. Obviously, we're not gonna act like we didn't know, and look out for this team. But I think our biggest thing was just we knew what we had to do, and as long as we did what we had to do perfectly,
mm-hmm.
then that should be enough to, beat the team. But it was a sort of, we were trying to how it was, we were coming with a point to prove, every time we came to nationals, and there have been different each nationals, so there were different times, different things, that that would happen in between. But when we got on that stage, like we knew, like, we might not win this one, boys. So we have to lock in. We have to do whatever we can to ensure, basically ensure a perfect score. There's no room for fault, because if there's fault, then you never know what could happen. Mm-hmm. So we would just, especially with that position, try to go our 100%, give 100%, and get 100%. So then that way, there's no doubt in the judges' minds or people's minds, who the winner was. From just the adrenaline. I think it's kind of like the passion is contagious. And for every step team.
I do have to say this. Everyone knows, because I always say it all the time on the shows. When I have a step show in Charlotte, I always, since you came to Charlotte, not to Charlotte, North Carolina, for college, you have came down to my shows and judged. It was one show you couldn't come down because you were doing other things, and everybody was like, where's Elijah? I was like, y'all, he can't come this time. And then everybody found out why when you crossed into being a Kappa. But coming to the shows, I will say this: your presence at the show and them knowing, because all the teams knew that you were there. All the teams knew that you stepped up a lot. And of course, with my kids, my team was just like, oh, he's here, because they knew, especially the boys. When I first had all boys, they studied y'all in GOV. So I do want to ask you, how was your experience judging? Okay, you come from the stepping side, and now you're at a table and you're judging some of the teams like height that you competed against. So how does it feel judging a youth step show?
Right. So first and foremost, I just want to thank you, for giving me that opportunity, because that was definitely something that you made possible. But just to give, how it felt, it was really just I was so grateful, because it was like, to see that to be looked at like that, but to also have that opportunity, because the biggest thing too, and personally, I love to do it, but like, even when I come back now, like whenever I come back to the team, like I'll always like come and just look at the team and just like, like Richard always like loves to have me there, but to just look at what's going on, like just to have a keen eye and really see, like when you spend time stepping and stuff, so then to really get to be able to be a judge, I remember the whole time, practicing was for the judges, like what the judges want to see, what they're going to look at, like what you have to do for the judges to give you a good score. So then to be on that reverse side, and to be able to see, all these exciting teams, like really great teams was truly a blessing, honestly.
I appreciate that. But I do appreciate you coming. And let me tell you a funny story when it comes with parents. When you came to the show, your mom DM'd me, and it was like, thank you so much for letting Elijah come judge. Thank you so much. I knew what that DM meant. That DM meant, make sure my child is okay or we're coming for you. And I loved it. So as a parent, I was like, yup, I live for it. And I talked to Richard as well. That was a whole, all right, everything was everything. When I tell you we had it set for you, when you called me and you said you missed the train to get here, I had team moms ready to come get you. Was like, yo, if he can't get here, we got to go to Raleigh. They were ready and prepared, like, yo, we'll go get him. You know what I'm saying? So please, I do appreciate that. All right, World of Dance. Y'all was on World of Dance, and you know, I was very excited when I saw that post up. I ain't gonna lie, I unfollowed J-Lo and Neo for a little while when y'all didn't make it through. I unfollowed them. I said, I was mad at that. I'm done with them. So Brother Elijah, if you have any words to the steppers of today, what is something that you would give, some advice that you would give to them?
Sure, okay. So I think the biggest thing that I would say to, you know, everybody who's out here stepping and contributing and being part of the community, but it really truly is an art form, right? And something that we can all find a love and appreciation for, you know, if it's there. So just to, you know, for everybody who's stepping and still continuing, you know, we have to keep, you know, the legacy and continue to evolve, right? Like it's not over, you know, for stepping or for anything, like, you know, we just have to keep getting right. So then when we get to that point to where, you know, we can have competitions and everything like that again, you know, that fire is still there. So basically, I guess what I would say is just keep the fire alive, you know, just continue to work hard. I think, you know, every team, every stepper has the potential to, you know, to win and do it and, you know, perform to the best of their ability. So it's just to go out there and just to work hard and to ultimately, while working hard, just have fun.
DRB to Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. All right. How does it feel being now that you're in a fraternity and now looking back at the boys that are coming up through DRB that could be following in your shoes to maybe one day become a Kappa or any of Divine Nine, but Kappa. Sure. So how's that?
So and I think that's a big thing of, you know, a big reason to spark my interest too was because, you know, not that they were necessarily members of Kappa Alpha Psi, but I had seen, you know, and people who are on the team who are graduated alumni who are going on, you know, to being in different, you know, Greek letter organizations and just, you know, seeing, so then just by that being exposed, you know, to, and being able to now being exposed, doing research on all these different organizations and seeing, you know, the structure. And I know the biggest thing with us as DRB, it really is a brotherhood, you know, like these are guys. I remember some of these guys I would have classes with, I would have classes with, spend all day, go to practice with, and then at night, be on the phone doing homework with. And, you know, I wouldn't trade, you know, that experience. I'm thankful for that experience and to be able to be a part of that, you know, all the time, because I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was proud of you when you called and told me that you crossed. I was like, finally, you know what I'm saying? Good God Almighty, you know what I'm saying? So I was very proud, and I posted it all over. When your probate came, I posted it all over Instagram. I was proud, you know, because I love to see high schoolers go to college and just being part of something great. Because I did it, you know what I'm saying? I pledged and crossed on that stuff, so I love to see it. Let's go on to some of your favorite teams here. All right, this is called Top 5. Top 5. All right, Elijah, what are some of your top 5 step teams? Please, I know you got some. Do you have some top 5 step teams? You can't say DRB because we already know that.
Sure. Okay, so no DRB. So first one, I'll give a big shout out to Lady Raiders.
Okay.
So that's like our, you know, I guess that's kind of a cheat, but
all right. So now, that's one, and that's 0.5. So go ahead and start with 1 because you're in the same family.
Okay.
But we'll take that.
Sure. So that my number 2 would definitely be X Factor.
Oh, come on.
Mad love for the home team.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I really enjoy Hype. I enjoy their whole collective and everything that they have to offer. So I do enjoy them. I actually enjoy GOV too. You know, regardless of the history, I do find them entertaining. Okay, so my number 4 is gonna be Taking My Surprise. I remember watching them in high school, and they were always bringing something crazy, doing crazy type of stunts and different things like that. Okay, I like Icons. I do like Icons, you know.
But my brother, I do appreciate you being on here, man. I really do appreciate. I do appreciate you supporting and just being on here and helping my dream come to come to light some more with this platform right here that I have. I do appreciate it so very much. All right, well, everyone, thank you for watching this edition of The Step Exchange with Brother Elijah. I am Coach B, coming to you loud, live, and I'm remaining in color. I end that right there. All right.